Alone we can do little, together we can do so much. Hello everyone, this is the Team Tech Nerds and this is a presentation for Sprint 1 retrospective. Now let's look at the team members of the team. The first team member is me, Jitasha. I played the role as a Scrum Master in the team. Then we have Harshita, who played the role as a developer of the team. And then we have Jahanvi, who played the role as a product owner of the team. Now, let's discuss about the Sprint 1 backlog. The tasks in Sprint 1 were generally related to setting up the kit and performing basic UI changes in the web page. The main tasks included in the Sprint 1 backlog were changing the background of web pages, adding details for current and incoming students, creating a search bar, making a portal for staff members, adding a section for news on the home page, and resolving some basic bugs.
Overview of our group activities in Sprint 1. In Sprint 1, our team focused on laying the foundation for the project. We collectively defined our Sprint 1 backlog, prioritizing the most critical tasks to get started. We set up the development environment and configured the necessary tools for deployment. We held daily Scrum meetings to facilitate communication, collaboration, and problem solving with team. We conducted sprint review meeting at the end of the sprint to showcase our progress and gather feedback from stakeholders. So these are the tools which were used by us during our project. For project management, we used Trello. For source code management, we used Git. For communication, we used Slack or WhatsApp. For Scrum meetings, we used Google Meet. And for file storage, we used Google Drive. At last, we extracted 9 features from all the user stories related to Sprint 1.
This slide outlines the first user story of our project, which focuses on implementing the search functionality. The user story defines the need for users to search for information efficiently. The corresponding feature to be developed is the search bar functionality. My name is Janvi and I am responsible for delivering this feature. The task has been estimated at 13 story points, indicating its moderate complexity. The complexity arises from the necessity to create a backend table for storing search results and developing an API for retrieving these results efficiently. We are prioritizing user-centric features like search functionality to enhance user experience. The task involves both front-end, implementing the search bar, and back-end, creating a table and API development. This slide also represents the first user story of our project, which focuses on implementing a dark background color. We are enhancing user experience by implementing a dark background color scheme. Harshita is responsible for executing this task. The user story aligns with the user's need to search for information quickly by enhancing the readability with the dark background. The task is estimated at 2 story points, indicating its simplicity. The simplicity arises from the straightforward nature of the task, which involves making changes in the root CSS file. This slide introduces the second user story, focusing on integrating the staff portal into the home page of Deccan University system. We are enhancing staff members' ability to access information by integrating the staff portal onto the home page. Harshita is responsible for completing this feature. The task is estimated at 21 story points, indicating its relative difficulty. This task is comparatively difficult and involves adding a new option for staff access.
Next, we again have user story 2. This user story was provided by the staff members of Deakin University. It says, as a staff member of Deakin University, I should be able to access staff information so that I can stay up to date with the latest information. The feature that we extracted from this user story was the background image should be promoting the university. This task was assigned to Harshita. It was provided 3 story points because it is relatively easier to implement, as the feature of background image can be implemented by using predefined CSS attributes. Then we have the user story 3. This task said that as a student, I should be able to find university program, courses and units on the home page so that I am up to date. The feature that we extracted from this user story was that tables should be responsive and visually attractive. This task was assigned to Jahanvi. The feature extracted from this user story was given 5 story points because The task is very easy to implement and just involves some predefined attributes of data tables. Next, we again have user story 3 with a new feature. Another feature extracted from the user story 3 was new tab should be opened on clicking the link. This task required that if any link is clicked on the home page, then it should be opened on a new tab. This task was assigned to me. It was given 5 story points because it is an intermediate level of task. This feature can be implemented by using certain properties of anchor tags.
Next, we have user story 4. As a user, I should be able to view news related to university events so that I do not miss any event. The feature extracted from this user story is news section should be created on the home page. This task was assigned to Jhanvi. This feature was given 21 story points because it is comparatively difficult to make an entire section for news. And also, it is difficult to make the tables responsive, adjust them to different screen sizes, as there are
There are
multiple
multiple
tables for
tables
the
for
different university events. Next, we have user story 5. As a user, I should be able to view news related to university events so that I do not miss any event. The feature extracted from this user story is use appendation to prevent reloading of the page. This task was assigned to Jatasha. This feature was given 8 story points because it is an intermediate task and it involves making changes in the existing code base in order to use appendation. So, this slide depicts the task which we
which
were
we
to
want to
perform in
perform in
sprint
sprint.
1.
The Trello board provides an overview of Sprint 1 activities, including user stories, backlog items, due dates, features, and assigned roles. Each user story represents a specific user requirement or feature to be implemented during Sprint 1. The backlog contains all tasks and user stories planned for Sprint 1, along with their due dates to track progress effectively. The features planned for implementation during Sprint 1 are listed, aligning with the user stories and backlog items. Each task or user story is assigned to a team member responsible for its implementation. By referencing the Trello board, team members can stay informed about their tasks, deadlines, and overall progress towards Sprint 1 goals. The timeline chart helps in visualizing the timeline of tasks throughout Sprint 1, facilitating effective time management and progress tracking. The timeline chart depicts the schedule of tasks from Sprint 1 backlog spanning from February 14 to February 23rd. Each task is represented on a timeline with its corresponding start and end dates, providing a clear visual representation of the sprint timeline. By sticking to the planned dates for each task as we a team make sure they will finish their sprint or goals on time. Hence, if we talk about what worked so well, so it include good communication. We talked openly and clearly with each other during the sprint. We found areas to improve and talk about how to make things better next time. But we had some issues putting our code on GitHub, so we had to do it again. We did not have so many meetings as we needed. So here we also mentioned some tips for other teams which we experienced. Put your code on GitHub regularly so you don't lose it. Have short meetings more often to talk about how things are going and fix problems quickly. And with that, we conclude our discussion on Sprint 1 retrospective. Thank you for your time and attention.